Hello, people of the internet. Ian and Joe here.
This is the Something Vloggy CADW challenge.
Attempting to visit and film all 130 CADW sites in 1 year.
Today we're visiting number 12 on our list, Raglan Castle.
The current Raglan Castle is a late medieval affair dating from between the 15th and early 17th centuries.
The ruling families of the Herberts and the Somersets built what was a luxurious fortified castle.
It is a large hexagonal keep known as the Great Tower or the Yellow Tower of Gwent.
The castle was surrounded by parkland with water gardens and terraces.
During the English Civil War, the castle was held on behalf of Charles I and was taken by parliamentary forces in 1646.
In the aftermath, the castle was slighted or put deliberately out of military use. After the restoration of Charles II, the Somersets declined to restore the castle.
Raglan Castle became first a source of local building materials, then a romantic ruin.
So we're here at Raglan Castle, and it is stunning. There are parts of it, if you get the angle just right, that look like they might be straight out of a brochure to promote Venice. There are really nice, crumbly buildings overlooking this moat, and the moat is a really interesting shape. It goes round the base of the Great Tower here, and there's a doorway there that you can walk down to the moat side. It's a pretty impressive place. Pretty and impressive. So I'm now standing in the courtyard. It took me a little while to get to here because the outside was so spectacular. There's a lot to see and it's very, very pretty and very, very photogenic. The courtyard here, it's quite unusual to see one that's still cobbled, and not only that, but you can see the drainage ditch that goes all the way around the outside, and there's still quite a lot of the foundations left of the buildings around the outside of it as well. Not only that, but it's interesting to see the different styles from the windows and the doors, because they all kind of look like they've been built at different times. You've got a lot of different styles in one very small area.
In the 16th century, if you were of the noble variety of person and you wanted to get a bit of exercise but the weather was somewhat inclement, there weren't that many options available to you. You couldn't go outside with an umbrella because nobody had invented one yet, and there wasn't much in the way of waterproof clothing. So instead, if you were ridiculously wealthy, then what you could do is you could come along to Raglan Castle and you could walk up and down the long gallery. This is really what people used to do to get a bit of exercise. It was nice and long, so you would walk up and down, you would have a little bit of polite conversation, look at the paintings hanging on the wall, admire the mouldings around the fireplace, and then look out of the window above me. You can just see what remains of it. There's an awful lot of it gone, but that is where you would stand to look out at the beautiful countryside. And down below you, you'll be able to see the water gardens and the ornamental lake. So, you know, if you're really posh, go for a walk inside.
This room is just chocker full of fireplaces, and weirdly the ones further up there have still got their mouldings on, which is fascinating because you can actually see the work done on them. They might have been more ornate, but you can see the gist of what was there, and it is beautiful work.
What castle wouldn't be complete without somewhere to store your grub? And this is, of course, that. This is the cellar. You can tell it's the cellar because it's got a good echo. See?
So this is the kitchen. There's a fireplace there. There's a fishy cookie thing there. It's a kitchen. They cooked things here. Looks like I found the library. Not real books though.
It's a bit of an oddly arranged castle, this, because you've got the main living quarters over there. And then here, you've got the central defensive structure, which would have been cut off by the drawbridge. So the thing is, if you were wanting to attack the big G's, you'd have to come in through this really narrow entranceway. Clever design, and apparently it's quite rare in the UK. quite a long trek up to the top of the tower. It means that from the very top of the thing you can see a really long way around in every direction, meaning that you really can keep an eye on what your enemies are up to and who's trying to creep up on you. But it also means that you've got several stories that you can live in while you're under siege. And it all looks rather luxurious as well. Lots and lots of fireplaces and, you know, plenty of room. It'd be a nice place to live, I reckon. As you can see, it's quite some view up here, and that's great if you don't have a problem with heights. Did I mention I've got a slight problem with heights? Actually, it's not the heights that's the problem, it's the looking down and that thought going through your mind that I might drop off here in a minute. And besides that, if you don't have a massive problem with heights, come up here if you're going to visit, because I can see for miles. And this is Wales, so it's all very pretty. I mean, it really is stunning. Now, I'm going to stand here and admire the mountains in the distance, and I'm going to give you the opportunity to do the same.
So what do you think?
It's really big. There's lots of it here. I mean, I know that sort of...
That's understating it.
It is
What do you
big,
think of
isn't
Raglan
it?
Castle? Well, it's big.
Yes, it is big. What's sort of odd about it is that there's so many different things to look at here, because you've got quite a long period of history that the thing was built over. You've got a variety of different styles. You've got bits of it that are in worse decay than others.
Yeah,
And
it's like a patchwork castle. It's just all over the place styles-wise. It looks nice.
it's great. It's
as a result,
fantastic. The number of fireplaces and the number of different styles of fireplaces are just sort of
in the same room.
in the same room.
I think my favourite part of it is the the fact that you just walk through a room and you look up and there's this fully ornamental fireplaces and mouldings on the wall. They're just kind of hanging there, and it's just like, that looks really weird.
Yeah, I really like the fact that you can still go up into the main tower. And the views from up there are stunning.
They are. It's got a lot going for it.
It's got a lot going for it. That's one of our phrases, isn't it? If you want to support us in our fabulous adventures, you can become a patron at patreon.com/somethingvloggy.
To make sure you get to see the rest of our adventures, don't forget to press the YouTube subscribe button.
And if you want to get notifications, click the little bell to give it some ears.
See you next time.
TTFN.